Hi there folks, welcome to another clip here at my YouTube channel. Well, the summer break is over and as you see it's still sunny out there here in the Rhine-Main area in Germany, and it's still 25-26 degrees, so it's still hot enough. Nobody is really thinking about turning on the heating right now, but when it comes to the month of September, it is quite easy that in a couple of weeks a couple of boys out there scratching their heads where they should get the money from just to pay their future energy bills regarding gas, regarding heating oil, regarding whatever the kind of energy you may consume. So this is serious. This is an energy crisis in Europe, especially in the center of Europe. A couple of bigger states like Germany, but as well like Great Britain, and the southern states like Spain and Italy will face serious issues. Not to forget France. We delivered France a lot of energy the last weeks when it comes to burning gas to produce electricity and to send it to France because their nuclear power plants did not work properly because of the drought. Well, it is not easy. Everything is not easy to explain. So whatever you read out there, whatever you may think, whatever you write or talk to guys, be aware of the fact that you have to dig yourself into the topic more and more, because it's not that easy. And people are writing about possible blackouts in winter. They are writing about a lack of gas. They are writing about panic. They're writing about a shitload of money you will be needing to pay your energy bills. Of course, half is right, half is wrong. As always in life, you need to find a way to get serious information. Before we get started with a couple of analyses around the Brent crude, I'm simply trying to push that into the Brent crude corner, just because of the reason I am quite convinced that a couple of companies try to get rid of gas energy as much as they can and to try to simply support themselves with crude, so with oil. And as long as that works, well, it's good for them. But in the long run, I think that's the reason Brent crude could get back up again from that kind of a correction we saw the last weeks. Well, before we get started with the chart technical analysis, I would like to invite you to be a member of this channel, as I always do. Very much appreciated if you do so. And on top of that, very much appreciated if you leave some thumbs up for that clip. Thank you very much in advance. Well, let's have a look at the chart technical part right now. So let's have a look at the chart technical picture. As you can see, this chart technical analysis here is supported by guidance.com. You see that kind of chart technical tools here. Feel free to find out more at the website from them. You see the Brent Crude Oil rev indication here. So as far as that indication is concerned, there are a couple of different digits you will find, then a couple of other brokers or other sources, whatever you may use, just saying. It is a picture, a long-term picture, just to give you a kind of idea where we are coming from and where we are possibly heading to. And the reason I took this longer-term chart is simply the reason that we have an old high here from September 28, 2018 at 86.39. You can see that is the white line right here. We got three different Fibonacci analysis and setups. So we got the low from 2099 here as 100% going up to that high from March 22 at 133.06. So these levels combined give you a hint where we are possibly heading to the upside and downside. And we got a second Fibonacci analysis here starting from the high 133.06, which is actually from March 08, 22, and going down to that last low here from 91.55, which is from August 17, 22. And of course, the last one here is the third Fibonacci analysis, starting from 91.55 and from, of course, same date, August 17, going up to that August 30 high here at 103.44. Some projections to the downside from the last Fib analysis right here, giving you implication that the bear target zone is scratching, or let's say oscillating around that 86.39, which is quite similar to that high we saw here. So something between the 138.2 and the 161.8 projection levels from that kind of a Fibonacci setup. Just saying, I'm not telling you the market is falling and directly hitting that kind of a zone. It's just a hint. It's just information for you guys. If you like to be short, if you like to be looking out for that kind of a target zone, that's the place to be, possibly. To the upside, we see that green zone right here. That's 117.20 from 61.8 level here from the Fib level, regarding that yellow Fib analysis here. And just saying that this kind of a reaction zone could possibly be something like a bull target. Going to longer term prices, looking out what is going on at the market right now, we are possibly melting away with that kind of a deficit. Look at China. Look at the current situation with new lockdowns in Chengdu, Shenzhen, port of Dalian. Look at the current issues with the GDP numbers. The world GDP is going to be sinking. The GDP in the US is going to be sinking. So recession is around the corner wherever you look in the European states in the next year, as far as we are concerned about the fourth quarter here, possibly even being into recession in UK or even Germany in quarter 4 22. So the outlook, the forecast for 23 regarding usage may not be the best. But if you just compare that to the current levels of energy we face, oil is still the place to go and still the place to be, just because of the reason we saw that moves the European gas market, and especially when it comes to pump full of that kind of gas into the German storage facilities and other European storage facilities. So there was a huge ask side, and of course other guys selling gas massively, like LNG, the US boys of course as well, are selling massively, and prices are skyrocketing. So that is the thing we saw today. We are speaking Friday right now. It's 1 hour after the non-farm payrolls issues here, and market is still doing well. Brent crude right now hovering around 94.20s. So you see that picture is quite new. And if you just have a look at the current Dutch TTF gas futures contract from October 22, you will find that one at the ICE, so the Intercontinental Exchange Index. You will see that there is another 10% plunge today, bringing that down to 218.46 euros a megawatt. And just to let you guys know that this kind of a price level we had at August 26 was 346 euros 52. So that kind of a Dutch TTF gas future October 22 plunged way more than 100 euros a megawatt, and it's still possibly can plunge more into territories sub the 200 marker. So that has a lot of issues for electricity markets, because there's a combination of that kind of energy price of gas in combination to be seen with electricity. So that's how all these kind of procedures and all these kind of electricity markets are pricing that. All right. If you like to have more information about energy, like to have more information about markets from the ask side, from the supply side, You will find a lot of information at the International Energy Agency, as well at the Energy Information Agency from the United States, as well as from the OPEC, and other issues we will find right now at a couple of companies supplying data, like the British petrol company BP, giving you something like a world energy summary, and of course other companies like the French Total, or a couple of US companies like Exxon or Chevron are having a couple of research papers out there. So we'll find and we'll learn a lot about the international market of oil and have something like a bigger picture for that kind of a commodity. In the longer run, I'm playing that card that the price of oil will possibly step up again. So that kind of a green arrow we see here in the chart technical picture might be a zone to catch. So wherever you see that in the next weeks to come, wherever you see a more heavy dip to the downside going into that direction of that old 2018 high here, you may find something like to accumulate oil, to buy yourself into that and simply hold on to that into the winter time, because it's a typical scenery. It gets colder in European countries like Germany and northern countries, and especially in the whole northern hemisphere when it comes to the US and Canada as well. And that is the reason that mostly in that kind of a time that oil is possibly a good play for a long setup again. On top of that, it might be something like to be seen in addition, as I said that one in the intro, we are speaking about the so-called additional ask side from these kind of companies who like to get away a little bit of gas and try to be able to use more oil just to average out costs. That's just a theory. It's not working 100% right now, but I think they are playing with that and they are trying to manage to get that done. All right. Hopefully you guys will have a sunny weekend, relaxing weekend, and hopefully you survived non-farm payrolls data today and been ready on the right side of the trade. And we will see you next Friday, next week, as long as the whole week is turning big fat winners and digits into your account. Thank you very much for your time and attention, and see you next time. Bye bye.